I record the opening and the Moga time here. I don't know where I will be recording the ending and the update and the main talk, but without further ado, ikimasu! VKanon's KiDoAiRaku! Konnichiwa! Hi everyone, Fi here as always from Tokyo, Japan. It's the second week of December. December started in the middle of a week. It has been very hisasiburi. It's been a while since I did consecutive recording. Exactly last week I did the episode 21. I'm like super late right now. The reason why I was late is because yesterday was a Sunday, so Sunday is my only free day. But I did vlog, I went to my friend's place to play games, I slept pretty late. It's not that I really sleep early every day, but then yes, I couldn't wake up in the morning. I took extra time doing makeup, and then I had my lesson, and then I couldn't bear my hungriness. That's why I also took some time to have lunch instead of skipping it. I also met the cat that I usually like, which is near home, after a while of not, but he didn't want to eat my food at all. I think the surrounding is actually been feeding him, so I don't know. I put the chauchuru near there on a piece of leaf because I need to go, and I was already late for lesson as well just now. So yes, that's another reason why I was late. Anyway, so without further ado, here comes VKanon's update. So I'll be recording Moga time. At the end, I recorded this update like almost a week after I recorded the opening and Moga Time. I've picked up a new part-time job, which is during daytime, because only in the afternoon I actually start teaching. I'm doing something different from what I usually do. So let's see, since only 1 week has passed, well, almost 2 weeks to be exact, but it's not like I did any traveling. We already have the 4th case of Omicron in Japan. I don't see me going out of Japan anytime in next year. Well, I really want a holiday though. Well, I enjoy weekend trips, of course, as always in Japan. Last week, I tried out this nasi goreng at 7-Eleven. I mentioned many times that convenience store food in Japan is really top tier, including this one, nasi goreng. Well, because it's not fresh, so the rice is pretty sticky. We actually used the microwave to heat it up, but it was actually pretty spicy, although not so sweet. Well, I would wish it to be a bit sweeter because I like my nasi goreng to be sweet. And then something new will be the biggest Disney store in Japan has just opened in Shinjuku. I've been seeing the advertisement, but then it's my partner who told me that it's already open because he heard it from his gym trainer. His gym trainer told him that people queue for 2 hours. Then I told him that I actually reserve time when I want to enter it, and then he said like that's only the reservation to queue for 2 hours. I was actually pretty scared of that because I still need to go to work after that, but apparently it wasn't. This store have 3 floors. Comparing to other Disney store, they're just more fashion stuff, including makeup, more expensive bag that make me feel like I would rather just get Kate Spade or Coach. Before this, the biggest Disney store is actually in Odaiba. Well, I haven't got the chance to visit it there. I really wish to go there one day. I will still want to go there. In my new place, I get to see really local train, which we usually call as Toden. The electric kind of train that is really on the street, same path with people walking and same path with the cars. It's one of the transportation option for me to go to work, but then it will take longer time because after that I will need to take a bus, and it's also not the cheapest way. So I don't know, maybe one day when I'm super down, when I'm super bad mood, I will take that to work. I start to see more illumination, but I also see more foliage. I guess this year is actually quite warm because I still see a lot of leaves falling on the ground, especially near home. I think it's just so pretty. I don't need to purposely go to the park. I think winter just make me more tired and more bad mood also. Oh, I used the ofuro. I used the big bath after so long of not, because there was one night when I was just so down and so tired of life. That's all I can say. So I already had lunch. I had a very, I don't know, I think it's a very protein-based lunch. I just feel like having hamburger today. Hamburger. When we say hamburger in Japan, it's just the meat itself, either with fries. I couldn't get the hambagu bento because the one that is in the bento set have cheese, which I don't really like. And another one comes with shogayaki, sliced pork with ginger. I'm not in the mood of eating that right now. I only had a hambagu only. So now I'm going to be bringing dessert for this episode's Mogu Mogu Time. This time is slightly different because I'll be introducing something that is only for adults because it has alcohol content, I guess. So I mentioned in my previous episode that only Japan made me got interested in checking out chocolates, including this. I tried one of the liquor chocolate, but I didn't really like it. Then I got more interested in checking out what other liquor chocolate there is in Japan, and I got these 3 sets. I'll be introducing 2 of the Pocky. This is supposed to be for wine. I don't know, whiskey. So without further ado, I'll start with the wine one. I'm expecting this to be very sweet though. I can smell the, I don't know, yeast. Oh, 진짜 아마so. It smells kind of like berry. Well, it's grape since it's wine. It looks like chocolate. Mama. Okay, alcoholic chocolate. Alcoholic chocolate. Anyway, I'm not driving today, so I guess it's okay. Well, I'm teaching after this, but it shouldn't be. There is slight different taste with the only pure chocolate Pocky. Can feel a bit of sourness due to the wine juice. I like it that it's not as thick and sweet as the normal chocolate Pocky. On a side note, I mentioned that I don't like chocolate. I didn't really like sweets, so I tried challenging eating dark chocolate as well, but I didn't like it. On a side note, regarding my chocolate story. Next one is the so-called male version. I should rinse my mouth first. Let's try this one. Yeah, after all, I don't really like the smell of whiskey. I still prefer wine. I don't know whether it's because I still have the residue with the previous one or the tea, but this is unexpectedly sweet. This is unexpected, but I think I will recommend people getting this more than this. This one is very normal. So yes, this is recommended. Whiskey Pocky. I still have like 5 packages of this, so more lunch. Not today. Next time I will unpack the other one, the other liquid chocolates. It's time for the main talk, and now I'm going to be talking about why the word will be year. That's nice that this is the end of the year, so I'm going to do a quick throwback of what really happened this year. I've actually picked up a few happenings that really made me happy. I try to think of like happy, angry, sad, and joy, the KiDoAiRaku, but at the end of the day, I'm using my phone's gallery as my main reminder, and at the end, I only have pictures of things that really make me happy. Well, isn't that good? Instead of like remembering what make me sad, what make me angry, and then cannot move on. So yes, I've picked up a few happenings, and they're mainly travels actually. My visit to several parts of Japan. There was Corona, so what is really going on with Japan, right? Starting from January, so from the very first, I experienced going to a temple, which is Hatsumode. Don't really remember whether I was there during the countdown or I was there after past midnight. Few years ago when I visited Japan, I actually caught a cold. Therefore, during the new year, I didn't go to the temple. I actually just stayed at home and slept early. Well, I watched Kohaku end of year music show in my hotel room. Well, I've never really think of the new year as something big or anything like new beginning or something like that. Nah, I'm the type who think that when you want to start new thing, it's now. Don't need to wait until the new year. Most of the time before I started staying in Japan, I would always be traveling somewhere with my family. So there was also one time I remember well where I was being chased by a deadline, which is writing the end of year blog post. Well, usually that is definitely based on my own laziness. A place I've visited in January is Kasukabe, Saitama. I've been wanting to visit there because it's where Shintan stays. Although there's no Shintan's house in reality, well, it's not really a place that I will really go back to because there's really nothing there. Even the Shinsan Museum, it's only like 10 minutes of looking around, just some posters, just some goods from the movie, and even the arcade, there's really nothing there. So yes, that's about it for Kaskabe. And then going to February, I went to the railway museum. It's also in Saitama. That's the only thing I can think of actually. During that time, I still have school, so I cannot really do the weekend trip. Of course, I also had my part-time job, which is now my full-time job. I enjoyed the railway museum. I think that was one of the rare times I really took photos of myself and something that I can really upload, even though I was still wearing mask. Moving on to March, it's my graduation. At the end of the month, I went to watch Ono Daisuke's concert after quite some time of not really attending a concert. It was my first time attending a concert during the pandemic season, so I was actually quite shocked by how we cannot shout, by how the reaction is just by clapping, and then more people actually use the light stick. The light stick culture is still not something that I'm used to. Well, I don't really buy it to start with. I really enjoyed that live. And then after that, I went to Niseko as my unofficial graduation trip. I really enjoyed that because I at last have a few days without my computer. Well, I was being chased by deadline for the graduation video, but it was fine. I could have naps during the daytime while my partner go to snowboarding. I enjoyed that. And then moving on to April, it's the time when I started working full-time. Nothing really changed, just that I started going to the office more. I didn't do much trip either during that time, but something big happened to me, which is attending Final Fantasy concert, the orchestra concert. I was super touched. I remember getting post-concert depression. I just kept on looping songs from Final Fantasy and songs from Nier Automata. I don't know why. And then moving on is May. It's the time when I got my driving license at last after so many visits to Saitama. I don't hate Saitama, but that was not so fun. It's always early and then it was very cold. At last I got my driving license. Yay! I wish I can drive more though. It's still hard in Tokyo. And then at last I travel out again. I was being very patient during April and May because I know that I'm starting my full-time job, so I kinda told myself that maybe I will not travel for quite some time. I don't want to tire myself as well. But at last I couldn't stay still and I planned for an impromptu weekend trip to Gotemba in June. Even though my partner ended up buying more stuff than I did, I really enjoyed that trip. And then after Gotemba in June, starting from July, starts my busy weekends due to trips. And this is also when KiDoAiRaku became hard to handle because I just don't have enough time to do it weekly anymore. I did photo shoot in Timla. I'm so happy for that chance. I visited Cat Cafe with my partner in between of two exams, the Thai exam and the Chinese exam. It was a pretty healing time. I really enjoyed that. And at last, for one of my summer trips, I went to Izu for the first time. I was pretty surprised because it was my first time visiting a part of Japan that really have beach as the tourist spot, because usually I've only been going to onsen, mountain, and then some random park. I wish we stayed there a bit longer because I was pretty tired. We went early and we came back late, and then I still have work. Well, my friends could get off, not me. I'm sorry. The most happening in this year actually happened in August because that's when I went to the most places. Starting from Miyagi at Sendai. Until now, I still cannot forget how good beef tongue is. And then went to the manga museum. Well, I still didn't like the Fox Village, as I wrote in my blog, as I said in my previous episode of KiDoAiRaku. I also went to see the real life-size Gundam that moved in Yokohama, as well as the Cup Noodle Museum. That was super fun. I think this year, after all, I still like heat more than cold as well. So I enjoyed that month a lot. And of course, at the end of August, I had off days after so long of not. My partner and I went to Hakone. It was not my first time going to Hakone, but it was my first time staying over there. I had more chance to drive, and then since it was mountainous area, it was a great practice. I really enjoyed it actually. And comes my birthday month, September. I only went to one place, which was Kisara Zoo. It was another weekend trip. Not really me out of nowhere. There was almost no one in the hotel, so I enjoyed the onsen a lot. And then during my birthday, I received backpack from my partner. I really love that. Next come October, this is when I started being very busy, especially during the end of the month, which was during the Halloween. I dressed up to school, cosplay to be exact. I was super tired during that weekend. And then after that, I had tea time with my girlfriends. I had another photo shoot, which was at Saitama. I frequently went to Saitama this year. There's nothing much in comparison to the most, which was August. And I noticed that the second most happening month in this year is actually November. Mainly because there were off days, public holidays. I went to Roppongi's Kim Lab sauna. And then I also went to Mount Takao for the first time. And then I also went to Enoshima. I enjoyed the aquarium. I also went to aquarium back in Izu, so I cannot say that it's the first time I went to aquarium this year. But it was new and it's way bigger. And then at last, I went to watch Utano Princess Sama Konsato. I've been looking forward to it since last year. Even though I went on a Saturday, super tired after work, and then it was so far away, I got lost in all those. I still enjoyed it a lot. And I'm still listening to Utapri songs now. Perhaps I can do throwback to December next year. I don't know. I mentioned a few times that I started a new job from this month, so I don't really see any day when I can really do KiDoAiRaku. Even for this episode, I'm doing it separately. Alright, that's all I have for this episode. I've warped myself and I'm wearing something different. Well, as I mentioned just now, I'm really recording everything separately. I started on Monday and now it's already Saturday, almost 1 week on. But still, my update is super short because for the last 2 weeks I didn't go anywhere. Well, I'm going somewhere soon, which is tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Thank you for looking forward to this episode as well. A lot of unexpected happening just happened. That's how life is. How much preparation can you do, and then this happened. Anyway, so the next episode will be next week because it's already recorded 24th of December. In other words, it's Christmas Eve. So yes, I'll be coming up with the end of year Christmas Eve sweets making video with my partner. I will also be recording separately the opening update. I don't think Mogu Mogu Taimu is needed for that episode. And then of course I will record the ending. And then at the end of the month I will end it with Z. I haven't think of it. Alright, so that's all for this episode. I forgot. Hitokoto Nihongo ne? Well, I didn't really plan for it as well, so it's going to be super spontaneous. So here I go. 疲れた! でも頑張ってるよ. I'm tired, but I'm doing my best. Well, I guess it's just winter. I don't know, I just feel lonelier as well. Hi! Well, if I get a lot of money for a Christmas present, I think it's okay. Hi! So that's all. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to my SNS, my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Let me try to blog more than I expected. Let me do my best anyway. Alright, that's all. Mata ne, mata raishu. See everyone next week. Take care, stay safe. 気をつけてね。見てくれてありがとう。ポキゲームしませんか？する？じゃあ、フィーちゃん、チョコの方だね。